Today we're going to make cream cheese butter cookies. Oh, all those words sound so good together, right? What's not to love? This is a great recipe. I've used it for so many things. It's a good basic recipe to have on hand if you want to make cookies for holidays or any particular special occasion. Of course, it's always a special occasion when it's cookies. So, if you've ever made any sugar cookies, put it in the comments. Let me know. Let's talk about it, okay? And certainly, we want you to like our videos, and we want you to stick around because I've got so many great tips to share, so many stories that you'll just love to hear, and you know, we're gonna have a great time. So, let's get started. I'm Chef Don McMillan, and we're gonna make cream cheese butter cookies, and we're gonna bake like crazy. All right, look what we have to make this wonderful, wonderful cookie. Sugar, cream cheese, butter, vanilla, and we got some almond extract. It's going to be just perfect, and of course an egg. So first of all, we're going to start with an egg. I need the egg yolk. We're going to save the egg white to glaze the top of our cookies. So with an egg yolk, you break the egg on a flat surface, just like that. You crack the shell in half like this. And I'm going to just go back and forth like that. Leave the egg white there, put the egg yolk there, and we've got that. Okay, now we're going to cream our butter and the cream cheese together. So we need a whole cup of butter. Yes, a whole cup of butter. Get it in there. There's one. I have it at room temperature, so this way it'll cream up a lot quicker. And about 1/3 of a cup of cream cheese. Let's get that in there as well. And sugar. It's called a sugar cookie. Why not? In there goes the sugar. And a little bit of salt. That's really going to bring up a lot of good flavor. So let's get that salt in there as well. And of course the egg yolk, so there's more fat. It's going to be so tasty. Now what we're going to do, before we add the flour into it, we're going to cream our fats with the sugar using a paddle. So you're not going to use the whip, okay? Start out slow, otherwise you'll be wearing this for days. And always close it, shut it down before you scrape the side of the bowl. Please do not think you're going to save time by scraping the side of the bowl with the motor running, okay? You will only hurt yourself permanently. Do not do that, okay? Now we're going to put it back down again and let it go up again. Now we're going to add in our flavor. So we're going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So here's a little tip. With vanilla, the vanilla cap is exactly 1 teaspoon. Can you believe it? Exactly 1 teaspoon. That's why a lot of the recipes that was written hundreds of years ago when they used vanilla would always come in this size bottle, and you would just measure it. But we only need a 1/2 teaspoon, so I am going to get a 1/2 teaspoon measurement right here and place that in. But that's a little tip that you will find. I always wondered why that was true, that all these recipes call for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I went back and did some research, and I found that that was why that I put in a 1/2 teaspoon of almond and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. and that's what we need for this recipe. Let me go ahead and mix this in now. Again, start out slow and then add up some more speed. Okay, one more time. Just want to scrape it down and be sure that all the ingredients are together, and they are. Good, I like that. Okay, so at this point, scrape off here, keep all that batter in the pan. I'm going to add in my flour, and I'm using all-purpose flour for this recipe. So we're going to now incorporate the flour, again slowly, a little bit at a time. And you see it be lumpy just like that. That's exactly what we're looking for. But I'm going to get all those dry ingredients that went to the bottom of the bowl, and I'm just going to push them back into the bowl so we get all the ingredients to go together. And our cookie dough is now made. So whenever you're doing sugar cookies, you're going to need to refrigerate the dough. The reason being is there's so much fat in here, the cream cheese and the butter and the egg yolk. So we're going to go into the refrigerator. It's going to solidify, it's going to recover, and then we're going to roll it out. So I'm going to put it into a Ziploc bag, put it into my refrigerator, and in about 1 to 2 hours it's ready to go to roll again. So now that our cream cheese sugar cookies have been sitting in the refrigerator for about 2 hours, I put them in thirds and I put them in little bags like this just to keep them without forming a skin. I then took the cookie dough and placed it between 2 sheets of parchment paper. And what I'm going to do is to roll it to the desired size, and I'm just using the rolling pin. So you'll see how easy it is to use parchment paper and not having to dust with flour back and forth. And also with a sugar cookie, I don't want to add more flour to it. So sometimes if you don't want to use parchment paper, you could use powdered sugar, okay? So dust with powdered sugar and then roll it. So now, there's our dough. And the next thing we want to do is to cut it the desired shape. So whatever shape that you particularly like. As I mentioned to you earlier, that this dough is great for all holiday cookies. So you can do it for graduations, or you can do it for any like Easter or Christmas or any of those days. And we're just going to put our, see our cutter, just put it right in there like that. And you can use different shaped cutters. I've got this crinkle cut star as well. I tried to get them as close as possible together, although sometimes it's not that easy. But this way I don't have to keep rolling the dough. But you can re-roll this dough without any worry about the fact that it's going to not work. I know with pie dough I don't re-roll it. But look at this. Look at these cookies. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and put them on our thing. Now we're going to separate them just a little bit apart. They are sugar cookies and they do have a lot of butter, but they won't go so close together as some of the other cookies that we make. All right, so here's a variety of stars, and I'm going to have a little tip for you in just a minute as soon as I get these cut. Place it there. Oh man, these are going to be so good. So now that we have our cream cheese sugar cookies already cut out into the desired shapes, they're on a parchment paper on a sheet pan or a cookie sheet. I've taken that egg white. Remember we saved the egg white? I'm beating it up, and then I'm going to take the beaten egg white and then just glaze the top of each one of these cookies with that egg white. Just a little glaze on top. It's going to give it a beautiful color when it goes into the oven, as well as you're going to see what I'm going to do in just a second, because I told you I'm going to share a lot of great tips with you, and I have another one to share right after I get these cookies glazed. Just lightly glaze them right on top with the beaten egg white. All right, I got some of each one. just sugar. These are sugar cookies. We want to have a nice little crunch. The sugar on the top is going to caramelize just lightly. It's going to form a nice little bite to it, and you'll just see it's so good. Now, if you've got some of those sprinkles, you may want to put some of those colorful sprinkles on there. You sure can. If maybe you want to put a little gumdrop in the middle of it, you can do that. So many different things you can do with this cookie that it is just an all-purpose cookie mix. Okay, so we're just going to do the sugar on there. You're going to taste the cream cheese. You're going to taste the butter. Oh my goodness, what's not to like? Okay, goodness gracious. Okay, a little sugar, got them all there. Good. Into a preheated 375-degree oven. So now our cream cheese, butter, sugar cookies, look at them. They're done. I'm going to go ahead and put them on this platter. They are perfect if you want to decorate them with something. Icing would be just beautiful on top of them. Look at it. Look at the bottom. Gorgeous color on there. Just so, so nice. The perfect cookie for every occasion. That sugar crust, I showed you that. Look, it just crusted up on top, so you have a nice little caramel. So when you bite into it, it gives you a little crunch. So very nice. Wow, there it is. Well, you know, you have to subscribe because you want to see all of our wonderful recipes and shows that are coming up. And also be sure to leave a comment. It's very important. Let me know what you think about this recipe, and maybe you have some suggestions. We can share some knowledge, okay? And then also please like us. It's very important. And we definitely want you to enjoy these cookies because they are just so simple and of course delicious. Oh man. Oh man. Best cookie ever.